What's up, YouTube? It's once again Wednesdays with the one and only BillyJ here on the Fab 5 collab. It's fall time, and you know what that means. That means the great TV shows are returning to the small screen. So this week, our subject is our favorite TV shows that are returning this fall, or sometime this year in some cases. I give you a forewarning, there may be some spoilers in the following video. So be on the lookout if you watch the same shows that I mentioned and you haven't seen last season, just be prepared. The first show I'm going to talk about is Amish Mafia on the Discovery Channel. Now the first season was kind of boring for me. There wasn't much exciting happening. It was mostly about the Amish Mafia guys and their daily life, about collecting money and intimidating people and just daily life for the Amish. This season of Amish Mafia is off the rockers. The original cast has splintered off somewhat and are forming their own factions. The Amish Mafia in Ohio is trying to impede on the Amish Mafia in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and all the heads of these little factions are trying to get revenge on each other, and it's simply like Amish culture meets Sopranos or Casino. I mean, it is just off the chains. Not to mention it has some eye candy like Jolene and new guy Caleb. There's a new show coming out this fall that I'm kind of excited for, and it's called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now if you watched any of the new Marvel movies or the Avengers, then you know who S.H.I.E.L.D. is and some of the agents that are going to be featured on the show. There's a lot of hype for this show, and hopefully it's done very well, and hopefully it doesn't do what Smallville did at the beginning, which was have like Freaks of the Week. That gets kind of boring. You know, hopefully there's some overarching storyline that ties it all together. And hopefully they have some cameos from some of the stars from the movies. Now they don't have to be like in the show and like all geared up and stuff like that, but they could have like, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, have him like on the intercom, or have him like on the phone, or maybe on the video or something like that, you know, giving advice to the agents, or have Samuel L. Jackson's character of Nick Fury do a little cameo and stuff like that. So hopefully it ties together with the movies, and hopefully they explain Agent Paulson, who was the guy that died in the Avengers movie. Hopefully they explain that somehow he didn't die and that's why he's on the show, or maybe the show is before the movie. Who knows, but hopefully it's done very well and I'm really excited for it. Another show that is a perennial favorite of mine is Survivor, and this year is the 27th cycle of Survivor, and this season of Survivor is called Blood versus Water, and it pits 10 returning contestants with either a loved one, either family or their wife or husband or boyfriend or fiance, some sort of relationship, and it puts them in teams. Now I don't know if they're going to be on the same team, like if me and my, let's say I had a fiance and we are on the show, I don't know if we'd be on the same team starting off or we'd be separated. So I'll have to wait to see for 2 weeks from now whenever Survivor starts. Can't wait. Another show I am super excited for to come out, which won't come out until the springtime, is Game of Thrones. And it's going to be season 4, which is actually the second half of the third book, because they split the third book in half. So they had the season 3 as the first half of the book, and now they're going to have season 4 as the second half of the book. And I'm really excited for the season coming up because I finished the book and I know what's going to happen, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't read the book. But all I'm going to say is that more people are going to die. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to spoil it for people, but it is what it is in the Game of Thrones. And finally, Another show I'm really excited for is on its second season as well, is Revolution. Now this show is about, what happens if like all the power went out in the entire world, not just like a simple blackout, but something that happened that no power could ever be turned on, like generators and batteries, like no electricity, and and the show's like 15 years later, what happens after the blackout. So the show focused on like America, just like in certain areas, and there's these different factions that took over different parts of America. So America is no longer the United States, it's like all split up in these different little factions. And I'm super excited for this season because at the end of last season, the power turned back on. And then it turned out like the last president of the United States is like hiding out somewhere, and they realize that the power's turning back on, and so shit's gonna get real. Now that the power's back on, that means like all the army equipment can be used and everything. So it's really exciting as far as what's gonna happen this season. So hopefully it's really good. Well, those are some of my favorite shows. Put down below some of your favorite shows that you are most excited for coming up in this fall or this spring. And remember, peace, love, unity, respect. Peace out, guys.